You know, usually when we talk about dealing with conflict, there's this expectation of like an immediate action,
Right.
like physics. Someone pushes you, so you obviously push back, or
Mm.
at least you put up a shield.
Right, yeah. It's totally instinctive, just action and reaction.
Exactly, it's
Yeah.
visible. But then um, when you step into the biblical concept of meekness, that whole physics equation just gets completely flipped on its head.
Oh, absolutely. It defies logic, really.
Yeah. So welcome, Word Community, to today's deep reflection. We are so glad to have you with us. Today we're drawing on a recent Sunday sermon from Hong Kong Cheil Church. And for those of you who heard the message, it really challenges that pushback instinct we just mentioned.
Yeah, and even if you didn't catch the message, we're diving straight into the core text here, which is Matthew 5:5. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth.
Right. And our goal today is to really unpack why this specific kind of biblical meekness is, well, it's not some passive doormat weakness. It's actually a super powerful, active reliance on God's justice.
Exactly. And to even begin building that kind of reliance, we first have to look at where meekness actually comes from. Because, it isn't just a natural temperament that you're somehow born with.
Wait, really? So it's not just like being a naturally chill person?
No, not at all. The distinction between personality and character is vital here. Like, personality, whether you're naturally introverted or extroverted or just easygoing, that's just your innate wiring. But character is deliberately forged through a relationship with God.
Ah, I see. So meekness is character.
Yes. And it's no accident that this is the third of the Beatitudes, those core blessings Jesus laid out in the Sermon on the Mount. You can't just skip straight to being meek.
Right, there's a sequence to it.
Exactly. It requires the foundation of the first two.
Yeah.
First, recognizing our spiritual poverty, realizing we desperately need God, and then mourning our own brokenness, our sins, so we can actually receive his comfort.
Yeah, and the sermon uses really striking physical analogy for this process that I loved. Think about your knees. Healthy joints need cartilage, right?
Oh, yeah, the cartilage analogy. That was so good.
Because if that cartilage wears away, it's just bone grinding on bone,
Mm-hmm.
and every single step is agonizing. So in this analogy, God's comforting love acts as that spiritual buffer.
Right. It's the shock absorber. Because without it, the abrasive words and actions of the world they grind directly against our raw nerves.
Exactly. And we see someone actively using that spiritual shock absorber in Numbers chapter 12. Moses is leading the Israelites, and he faces this brutal public attack from his own siblings, Miriam and Aaron.
Yeah, they question his authority outright, basically asking if God only speaks through him.
And Moses just stays completely silent. But, okay, this is where the whole concept feels a bit, I don't know, dangerous to me today.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't just taking the hit and swallowing your feelings lead to massive physical stress?
Well, sure.
Because we're constantly told that bottling up rage or depression is incredibly unhealthy. Like, you shouldn't just suppress that stuff.
Right, and he absolutely would have been stressed if he were actually suppressing it, but he wasn't. Suppressing is like burying it deep inside yourself. Moses was handing it over.
Oh, handing it over.
Yeah, the key is right there in Numbers 12.2. After his siblings attack him, the text explicitly says, "And the Lord heard this."
Wow. And the Lord heard this.
Exactly. Moses didn't need to grit his teeth and mount this massive defense because he already had the immense buffer of knowing God hears, God acts, and God handles justice on his own timeline.
So meekness isn't suppressing anger, it's delegating it.
That's a great way to put it.
But then if Moses wasn't fighting back to protect his own position, what exactly is the payoff here? Because Jesus says the meek will inherit the earth. Is that like radical trust leading to real estate?
No, definitely not physical property. Look at Jesus himself. In Matthew 8.20, he literally says the Son of Man has no place to lay his head.
Right.
So inheriting the earth is actually about conquering human hearts.
Okay, but how did that actually work in practice? Like, if you aren't defending yourself, how do you win people over?
Think about the psychology of an argument. When you don't react with this bruised ego, you completely remove the fuel from your critic's fire. You force them to engage with the actual issue instead of just a defensive, angry reaction.
Oh, so it disarms them.
Exactly. Just like the early apostles who gave up everything to spread the gospel, the earth that the meek inherit is the respect and loyalty of families, critics, and communities. Quiet strength is incredibly disarming.
That makes so much sense. And that directly ties into the vision cast for Hong Kong Cheil Church. The church is celebrating its 35th anniversary this year.
Right, a huge milestone.
Yeah, and the ultimate goal mentioned in the message is that by the 40th anniversary, the entire congregation and its leaders will be completely defined by this kind of world-changing meekness.
A whole community that doesn't fight out of ego, but listens, loves, and lets God fight their battles. But it takes immense inner wealth, right? That spiritual cartilage we talked about, to absorb the shocks of life and actually leave the defense to God.
It really does. So, Word Community, as we wrap up this deep reflection, we want to leave you with a question to really just sit with today.
Yeah, something to mull over.
Think about the last time you felt unfairly criticized or attacked. If you truly deeply believe that God was already standing in your tomorrow, actively handling your defense, how would your response in that very moment change?